Hello friends, this is Jimmy Singh, broker owner of Supermax Realty, 647-961-2639. I hope you like my part 1 of the video top 10 things you consider when you buy any cottage in Ontario. So friends, in this video, I would like to discuss 5 more points we should keep in mind to make sure your buying experience is smooth and there's no problem down the line. And the next point, sixth point, is access to the road, because that is very, very important. So the question to ask is the road into the cottage municipality maintain it, or you have to maintain it privately? Because if it is privately maintained, you have to consider how you're going to manage during winter, because of the liability issues and access. You might need a local person to do all those things, and you have to pay more money for it, right? And at the end of the day, lot of mortgage insurers and lenders will charge you more or might deny you the mortgage if it is not properly maintained. And in some rural areas, it is more common that you may have to travel through a private road in order to access your condos. So it's in your best interest to find out whether you have access from another person's property. And if you do need to use somebody's property to access your cottage, tell your lawyer to check to make sure you have the legal right registered on your title to do so. And it is actually called easement. So they will check different kind of easement like hydro easement and these sort of things. So without a legal easement, you could be deemed trespassing, which basically means there's no legal way for you to access property. So those are all the considerations. And as I said, I shot a video early this year. If you're looking to buy a piece of land and make cottage, what are the important considerations? So watch my previous video I shot earlier this year. And another thing is, you have to also check whether the zoning allows year-round use, because there might be some municipalities where they prohibit you from doing so. And the next point, friends, number 8 point is, what are the waterfront issues when you buy those cottages? Is basically what we call shore road allowance. So what is that? So friends, almost every lake in Ontario are deeded parcel that belongs to municipalities that run along the shoreline. So find out from the seller, if you have a waterfront cottage, that what is the road allowance there and who owns it. So basically what it is a 66 feet strip of a land which have to start from high water mark, which backs onto your property, and this is owned by municipal government, right? So especially if you want to build something on it. So those are very, very important questions. Ask about shore road allowance. Is shore roads it is owned, and who owns it? Is it the neighbor who owned it, or you can buy from the city? And obviously if you're looking to build what you call your dock or a boat house, those are very, very important criteria. And number 9 point, friends, is well and septic. So do you draw water from the lake, or you have to see in the cottage that what kind of filtration system is there? Do you have a special water filtration with UV filters? And you need to ask the documentation from the owners about the location of the septic and when is it installed or when is last inspected, right? And obviously in some older cottages, lot of these systems are installed by the owners themselves, and they probably don't have any documents, right? So you want to go for an unbiased independent inspection done from a specialist. So if you're obviously financing your cottage from a bank, they might push you to install a brand new system if they have any doubts regarding it. Because what happens is, banks want to mitigate their risk. They want to make sure it is a saleable property in case you default on the mortgage, right? And other thing you want to ask is about the water portability, and were the permits obtained when they install all these wells and septics. Because at the end of the day, you want to show the quality and quantity, both quality and quantity of the water serve your purpose, right? and you can obviously put some kind of clauses to protect yourself. And as a good experienced agent, we draft these offers to make sure all the due diligence is done prior to make a firm decision, right? And obviously you want to make your offer contingent upon getting a drilling test done to check about the sufficient flow rate and the water quality there, right? And the difference, as I said, in some cottages you have a drilled well, some you have a dug well, and some basically you get water from the lake. The difference is the drilled well, they're actually drilled by the machine, which can be deep well. It can be up to 1,000 feet deep, right? And what they do is they place a what you call a pump near the bottom to push the water up, right? And the dug well, on the other hand, basically they dug either with a shovel or a backhoe until it reached the water table. And just make sure, if it's a dug well, they are more susceptible to contamination because the water level is shallow versus a deep drilled well, and you have less chance of contamination there. But obviously with deep well, you want to check the chemical and mineral that might be present in your water, right? And as I said, friends, most banks, if you're looking for financing your cottages, they want to finance a cottage which has a septic system, which has clear drinking water, which has heating, some kind of furnace, or what they call fireplace, and year around access. And obviously if the foundation of your cottage is on the ground or on the cinder block, right? So those are all the things you should consider. And as I said, when you travel there, these days everybody likes a good Wi-Fi signal because they work from home. So make sure in a lot of rural properties your signals are strong. Talk to your telecom company as well, right, if there's any issues. So bottom line, as with any good investments, similarly buying a cottage is a very good investment, because if you check the stats recently, all the market, whether it's Kawartha, whether it's Blue Mountain, whether it's Wasaga, whether it's Muskoka, the supply is really tight in most of the markets, less than 1 month. And most of these markets, the prices are up 20 to 30% since last year. And they're seeing big demand from local, out of town people and even foreigners. So I have a friend, he's a real estate there as well. So he was telling me 2 weeks ago he had an offer on a cottage where 2 of the offers were out of country people, investors who haven't even seen the cottage personally. They just have a YouTube live and they're buying for their family use because they're stuck back home, right? So do your preliminary investigation to avoid surprises and ask lot of questions. Ask your lawyer or real estate agent to put anything that you are uncertain. And as I said, you need to work with professionals who know what they're doing. So you need to hire an inspector who specialize in cottage inspections. And there's all different sort of inspectors. There's different inspector for well water basically testing, and then there's different person for sewers. Then there's different person for wet testing for your chimney as well. And I've been helping my clients for last 15 years buy recreation properties, whether it's Georgian Bay, whether it's Wasaga, whether it's small towns, or maybe it's Muskoka. So if you're looking to buy your next cottage or you have any questions regarding it, feel free to call Team Supermax. You can reach me directly at 647-961-2639. And I have connections with good lawyers, inspectors, and renovators to make a smooth transition. And in any case, if you want to sell your cottage for top dollar, give Team Supermax a call, 647-961-2639. Thanks for watching. God bless you.